everyone, it's Margie. It is day 66 of my personal challenge. But I wanted to share something with you. I told you yesterday that I would be giving you a video of how I felt about something. And the reason I wanted to video it is because to me these videos are very personal. They're from my heart. They're me being able to share with you. They're full of emotion. It's not like typing something on a status and posting it on Facebook and you can't really see the emotion behind it, or you can't see the sincerity behind it, or in the case of a challenge like I'm doing, even the struggles behind it. Here I go. I am so dang emotional. I cry when I'm happy, I cry when I'm mad, I cry when I'm sad. It's just like they just flood. Can I blame that on my mother? She was a really emotional type person too, but she didn't cry as much as I do. But what I wanted to share with you guys is kind of what brought me to this point, because I'm telling you, it wasn't Margie that got me to this point. If anything, it is the real God thing that brought me here. Sometimes these are really tough for me. And when I first started sharing my challenge, it was really tough. When you're almost 400 pounds and you're putting out what your weight is and your measurements around your bust and your waist and your hips and skyrocketing numbers. I mean, who ever thought somebody could have 74-inch hips? I mean, my goodness, fat lady in the circus. Those kind of things are hard to share. But I needed to share them for several different reasons. One of them is because I needed people to hold me accountable, because I couldn't do it on my own. And those are kind of some of the things that I wanted to share. Excuse me. The text that was slamming my phone last night, I guess I should just call them hate texts, because they were pretty cruel. But, this person doesn't even know me, never met me in person, hasn't worked with me, hasn't done anything with me, so she really didn't know me, so I guess she really didn't know what she was talking about. But, I just kind of wanted to share how I got here, because if I can share that background with you, you may understand, to me, why it was so important to do the video blogs. And first of all, I want to thank y'all for all y'all supporting me, because it was so overwhelming, the support. Oh my gosh, y'all just blew me away. It was like, I'll never forget, and I think I've said this once before, I was just a few days into the challenge, and Michelle Lewis, somewhere back in that eastern Kentucky, West Virginia, Ohio area back home, never knew her before Visalis, and I've only probably met her just a couple of times, but she made a post to encourage me, and she did the hashtag and Team Margie, and for some reason when I seen that, I really felt there was a whole team backing me up, and I could do this challenge. And from that day forward, it was just like, I can't let everybody down. I got to keep doing this, But let me go back and let me start at the beginning. I guess because this text came from someone that is in our industry, not with my company, but in the network marketing industry. And all kinds of emotions go on there. But when people become leaders like we are, you hope that they've matured and they've grown up enough and they've learned and grew enough personally that, all the kindergarten stuff is left way behind and forgot about, and they deal with those things much better. But I grew up in the country in Boyd County. I have a lot of my classmates that I've reconnected with on here, so you all know what it was like for me when I grew up. I can remember when we first moved from Ashland to out in the county. My parents leased a little store, Stewart's Market, and and service station, gas station right beside it. And my parents had a heart of gold, and they lost lots of money in that store because they gave everything away just about. But we were pretty poor. I remember that little farmhouse we lived at. We could be in some rooms, and I can remember seeing the ground between the baseboard and the floor. And probably bothered my mom more than it bothered anybody. But we were all happy, and there was so much love in our family that it didn't matter, you know. So growing up that way, my parents were very optimistic. They always felt that they had that entrepreneurial spirit. They both was out there doing things to better themselves all the time, and you know, except for when Daddy and Mom had that store and filling station, Daddy was working for somebody else because he had the income that had to provide for the family. But Mom was out there, and Daddy always supported her, always into direct sales, always. So I kind of grew up with that, and so I grew up, you know, learning to read things to better yourself, to make you a better person, to make you a good leader. And one of the things that my dad taught me, along with, you know, reading books and stuff like that, but it first came from my dad, was about building relationships. And he always told me, and I've shared this, and if you've been on one of my teams in one of the companies I've been with before, you've heard me say this from stage or one-on-one or whatever, but you've heard me say that my dad always told me, no one cares what you say or what you do until they know how much you care about them. And that's all about building relationships. And I don't care if you're in the industry like I am, or you're working for somebody else, or you're working in the church, or you're volunteering at school. We all build relationships. And that is so true. If you don't care about the other people, then what are you doing anything for? You know, it's not about us. It's always about someone else and what you can do for that other person. To me, that's Christ-like. So, you know, on the other token, when I get things said to me in a religious way, you know, my comeback is still another thing that I always learned from my dad. And my dad always told me, he says, Margie, your actions in life can say much more than your words can. So I may not be out there every time I promote my business, or every time I promote a product, or every time I'm on a challenge, you know, using Jesus, his name, or anything like that. But I do give him credit for my success, because I really feel how I live my life and my actions, that lets people know I'm a Christian. I don't have to beat people up with that. So that was one issue I really wanted to cover that was said. But growing up that way, I graduated from high school, had the best high school friends ever was. I love every one of y'all, and I'm so glad we all reconnected. But high school was great. Went on to college, started a career in accounting, was an accountant for 19 years. And I'm telling you guys, all y'all that knew me in high school, can you see me as an accountant? That was the most miserable 19 years of my life. You know, it was kind of like being in school again, because every time I had a work review or, you know, a pay increase evaluation, everything was always real positive, because I was a very hard worker, and, you know, I always strived to do.
He's always on Facebook. Update my profile. Always on Facebook. It's a great place to mix. Always on Facebook. Day and night. He's always on Facebook. I comment, share. He's always on Facebook. I'm always on Facebook. Where else would I be?
Behind that desk all the time. And yeah, I was helping other people. I was helping them get their tax returns done. I was helping them set their books up, you know, if they were starting a new business, or, you know, if they couldn't get their bank accounts reconciled, you know, I could do that quickly for them, and I could teach them how to do spreadsheets, and, you know, I could teach them how to manage their money. That was no big deal, but I really didn't feel like I was helping anyone. But you know, the whole time that I was in accounting, it seems like I always had to do something on the side. Oh my gosh, I could talk all I wanted to. I could build the coolest relationships. It didn't matter, you know. I thrived upon that. So when I met Ken, my husband, he had a couple of children, and we decided it'd be best for me to stay home, for me to really bond with the kids, because they were already grade school age, and you know, this is back in 1998, and for me to leave my career, just retire early. Well, it didn't take long that I didn't like not having my own money. So I went back to what I was very comfortable with in network marketing, and you know, tried some companies. So I found, you know, the ones that I thought was a fit for me, and I thoroughly love those, and I've had great success with some of those companies, and you know, today some of you are probably listening to this that I was in a company with, that we were successful with, and you're still a leader in that company, and we have no problems friending each other on Facebook, though we're in different companies, because you know, true leaders, they build each other up, and we learn from each other. You know, it's like, I guess it's probably been maybe 6 or 7 months ago, I talked to a dear friend of mine that's my friend on Facebook, Sam Pitts. Some of y'all may know him, that we're in Market America. That's the company he's with, multi-millionaire. And Sam is the sweetest guy in the world. He's a great mentor to me, and I always love talking to Sam. And you know, his last words to me on the phone when we got off the phone a few months ago was, Margie, let's stay in touch. It was so good talking to you. Let's share what our recent books are that we've read. And you know, that's what leaders do. It's about, you know, growing, personal growth. And so it's like, I have no problem being friends with other people, with other companies, as long as they have ethics and they're responsible leaders. I have no problem with that, because we all help each other. Lisa Messing's one of my friends on Facebook. You know, I'm not sure what her title is, but she's up there in Pampered Chef. And you know, Lisa and I used to meet regularly and just share ideas, and you know, talk about our industry, and you know, that's about growing. And you know, I'm still friends with Becky Smith on Facebook. She was one of my top leaders in my Avon business that I had, and you know, we haven't hurt each other's business. You know, it's only to help each other, and I have great respect for these ladies and these guys, and you know, we just grow together. So that's never been an issue with me either. But even though I had success in these other companies, it was easy for me when it came to network marketing, because I was taught at an early age how to build relationships and how to care about other people, and that's really what network marketing is. But you know what? When I was with the other companies, you know, you always had to be a product of the product. Well, I was a product of the product, but it seemed like the product was always something I could put on my face and look pretty, and I could teach other people how to put it on their face and look pretty, or it was something I could take and feel good and help other people feel good, or you know, it was those type of things. It was nothing that I ever had to do to be successful that personally challenged me health-wise. Didn't matter if I was fat. You know, I'm not saying that you can't be fat and do Visalis, because obviously in 10 months I was in a 6-figure income and I was still fat. But this is what I've learned. With Visalis, I can remember, I can't remember if it was last year's Vitality or the year before. I can remember Blake Mallon, one of our co-founders, on the stage, and big letters back behind him says, "We are the challenge," and him over and over and saying, "We are the what?" And you would hear us all say, "The challenge." We are what? The challenge. Well, you know, I never could grasp that. I was always in it for the money. I was about building relationships to help people get financially free. That was easy for me. That wasn't hard for me. That was easy for me to take someone from, you know, just making a little bit extra money to helping them get to a 6-figure income. That's not a challenge for me. But to challenge me to improve my health, I'm telling you guys, if there's any weak point in me, and I have lots of them, but the one that I probably try to hide the most is my personal health. I have hid behind this huge frame for so many years. I've laughed when I wanted to cry. I've turned my head so no one would see a tear. It's been painful. But I am with people that I've helped get free from financial stress and say, Margie, you're not scared of anything. Well, in that part of network marketing, no, I'm not. But when it comes to my health and trying to improve it, talk about scared of fear and letting fear stop you. Oh my gosh. And you know, I ignored it for so long that I didn't even realize it was just fear. And I kept trying to do a weight loss challenge. I failed at them over and over and over. Yeah, the first 90 days I was with Visalis, I lost some weight, lost a good amount of weight. Then a couple months later, I lost a little bit more. But you know, that got so old with me because I didn't like having to put focus on me. I mean, I had to look at me. I couldn't look at other people. I had to look at me and do something about my health. I was terrified doing that. So I just quit. And guess what happened? I started gaining weight back. I was still helping people earn money, helping people get in BMWs. But was I doing anything with my personal challenge? No. Nothing. Not a thing. I'd drink shake, but I'd go ahead and eat my 3 really good meals too, plus seconds or thirds or whatever. I just wasn't doing the program. I wasn't doing the challenge. And I can remember when it first came out with the challenge timeline, they called all of us ambassadors in, because you know we have to set the stage, set the example for the rest of all of our promoters to follow and be the example. And they told us all, you know, we had to go public with our challenge. So I just did what I was told. You know, that's what I do. You know, with your company, whatever those people tell you to do, they've already got the proven success record. All you got to do is listen and follow what they tell you to do, and you'll do it. So if Blake, Nick, or Ryan look at me and say, Margie, you need to do this, I say, yes, sir, and I go do it. So I did it, and I put my weight out there, and I put my measurements out there, and I tried to do a weight loss challenge. I say tried, I guess I didn't really try, because I'd failed so many times, and it's been about 3 years I've been with Visalis now. I just knew I was going to fail again. I just set myself up for failure. And I let y'all see it. I don't know how many of y'all saw that, but I really screwed it up once again. So then this past July, when I was at Vitality in Orlando, they were promoting all the champions from the challenges. You know, we have 3 categories: weight loss, active, and fitness. And here was this challenge of the active challenge, and they had all the runner-ups and the champs up on stage, and I'm looking at these people and I'm like, well, why weren't they on a weight loss challenge? Now, if any of you guys are listening to this, I'm not calling you fat. It's just, from my perspective, when you're this overweight, for somebody to be skinny, they're really skinny. So I was thinking, so I can be overweight and I can be on a challenge? You made me think, so I thank you for all that. So I came back home and I kept thinking, an active challenge. Wouldn't have to think about my weight. I'd be doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be on some kind of challenge. I'll just be on an active challenge. I won't have to worry about weight. I can do that. So I was already having to go to the doctor over my knees because they're absolutely shot. No cushion in my knees whatsoever. They're bone against bone grinding. And just a couple weeks before I started this challenge, my orthopedic surgeon said, Margie, both of these knees are going to have to be replaced. And then he put his hand on my knee and he says, but I've got to be real frank with you. He says, doing a knee replacement on someone over 300 pounds, they're usually not successful. So I'm thinking, why in the world would you have a knee replacement? Weight loss challenges, I guess I could try to do that again. And he said, well, what about being active? Ding, 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 ding. I'm thinking, once again, I'm seeing all those people on stage. It was in that active challenge. And I said, well, what can I do with my knees? Because he already sat there and told me, don't park way out in the parking lot and walk in like we're always told. He says, I don't want you walking any more on your knees than you have to until you get weight off. And so I'm like, well, what can I do? He says, well, you can ride a bike or you can swim. Well, okay, both of those are active. So then when I start my challenge, I'm thinking, okay, I'm either going to ride my bike or I'm going to swim every day. That was how I started my challenge. I had no idea how to do an active challenge. No idea whatsoever. Well, honey, let me tell you, I got on my bike that very first day, and it was so eye-opening for me. You know, I had kept 35 pounds off from that 398, and so I weighed 363 when I started. And it's a good thing I'd kept that off, because if I hadn't kept that 35 pounds off, I would have never been able to ride the bike. You know, you've heard me say about my obstacles I have to overcome now. I have to have a curb to get on and take off, because I haven't lost enough weight to be able to fit between my handlebars and my seat to be able to take off like a normal person does or stop. Can't straddle the bike. So, anyway, that first day, it was incredible. I felt so good. I just loved it. It was the best thing that had ever happened to me. And I just wanted to keep riding. I totally forgot about swimming. I just wanted to ride. Well, it was about 3 or 4 days into my challenge that Ken and I had a monthly bicycle meeting. We're family members of the Coastal Bicycle Touring Club. Now, you got to understand, I was already a member. Well, I was a member because I supported Ken. And when he rode these 100-mile centuries, if you've seen me post over the years, it used to be me and Casey would be at all the SAG stops. Now it's me and Sarah at all the SAG stops. We were there supporting him on. We were like his pit crew. So I've always, tried to go to these meetings or be a part of the club, but I wasn't a participant. But this night, 3 or 4 days into my challenge, they're talking about the 2013 National Bike Challenge. And I'm sitting there and I'm saying, Ken, can I do that? Ken, can I do that? And he's like, shh, because, somebody was talking, But I was all excited. So when we got home, he's like, yes, you can do that. He says, just go online, start you an account. You pick Coastal Bicycle Touring Club as a team that you're with, and you start riding, and you just log your miles. And I said, that's it? And he says, yeah. That became my challenge. So once I got on there and I started doing it, they had these crazy little ribbons on there that you could earn. They weren't even real ribbons. You don't even get a real ribbon. It's just, it gets colored in on your profile on the challenge site on the web when you get that many points. So I earned the first one, earned the second one, earned the third one. Now I'm working on the next to the highest one, which is 2,500 points. Now this challenge, for the bicycle challenge, it ends the end of this month. But my personal challenge doesn't end till sometime in late October. But anyway, that's what got me started. And I just found out the other day I can keep using this same program to log my miles every day, every month of the year, even after the challenge has stopped. So I was pretty excited about that too. And then, not long into my challenge, 20 days ago, Bobby Sullivan, who was with Visalis, he sent me a public message on Facebook and challenged me to do 800 miles in 30 days. And that totally blew my mind. Here, I needed to do 19 miles a day for me to earn 2,500 points. And I was really struggling to get that 19 miles in. Now I think 19 miles is nothing. Like, 19? I can do that. Might take me a while, but I can do that. And I'm thinking, 800? And so I started dividing that out. Well, that was going to take me 26.7 miles a day to be able to get 800 miles in 30 days. Well, then, you know, when something happened or something would happen that day and I couldn't ride the 5 or 6 hours it would take me to get almost 30 miles in, then I would get behind. So I had me a spreadsheet, you know, and like right now I have like 18 miles to make up, but I still feel like I'm pretty well on track because 18 miles, what's 18 miles, right? It's just got to be added on top of my 26.7. And by the way, I'll have to tell you, today he called me on the phone and he told me, I find this quite funny because he's an avid cyclist, and he said, Margie, I never thought you would take me serious on a beach cruiser to ride 800 miles in 30 days. Well, Bobby, I did, if you see this video. And he threw in the flag today. He's out of that challenge. But you know what? I started it. I've done over 500 miles of that 800, and I'm going to do 800 miles in 30 days. I wish you'd done it with me, Bobby, because I have thoroughly loved it, and it's made me a better and stronger person. So, anyway, why I think that this is totally a God thing is because this is so not me. I guess it's the new me God is transforming inside me to make me a better mom, a better wife, a better network marketer, a better friend, because I'm getting a ton of personal growth from this. I'm learning self-discipline when it comes to food. I'm learning self-discipline when it comes to getting out and being active every day. And these are things that I thought I could never do. And I tell you, I have to give God the credit for pushing me in this direction and me be willing to listen to His leading and go ahead and do it when I absolutely had no idea what to do, how to do it, or anything. And thank you, Visalis, for making me go public, because I got all of you, and I can't thank all of you enough for all the comments that you've posted, all the support that you've given me.
He's always on Facebook. Update my profile. Always on Facebook. It's a great place to mix. Always on Facebook. Day and night. He's always on Facebook. I comment, share. He's always on Facebook. I'm always on Facebook. Where else would I be?
Being self-oriented, that bothered me all night long, and I wanted your all's opinion because my friends on Facebook, a lot of you are with Visalis. Some on my team, some are not, but a big majority of you have nothing to do with Visalis. You're not a promoter, you're not a customer, you're just my friend. And I would never want to impose on any one of my friends. I try to protect each and every one of you all from people being on my page that I think may harass you or say things to you that I would never say to you myself. So that's why I asked the question, what your all's thoughts was on that. Because I guess in the beginning, maybe it was a little self-oriented because I needed help. And I reached out to y'all and y'all gave it to me. But today's day 66, and I have received so many texts, so many Facebook messages, so many emails from people just like me that are morbidly obese. Some people not morbidly obese but need to lose weight and have struggled with it for years and asking me how I do it. You know what? Before this challenge, I couldn't have told them. But I really feel like I have an answer now. Because, thank you, Jesus, I have grown. It's not about, I feel now, teaching somebody how to get in a black jacket or getting a BMW or be able to put your kid in a private school. This is about changing your life. Because it's changed mine. And it's overcoming fears. These were the biggest fears of my life. And you all helped me through it. And I want to thank every one of y'all for it. And I really feel like in this challenge, if it inspires anyone or it helps anyone get focused on trying to improve their own health, I'm glad it's all public. I say that from the bottom of my heart. You know, I used to be embarrassed by it. I'm not embarrassed anymore, because now I know God has used me to help other people that were maybe afraid to ask for the help. Letting those hate texts bother me. I won't let them stop me. I'm going forward. I'm becoming a new me and a smaller me. And I have so many of you to thank for it. Thank you for your support, and I want to keep hearing from you. I love you guys. Bye. I got to get back on the road because it might rain. Bye.